Okay. We'll wait a couple more minutes for other people to join, but just for those who have already joined, if you could make sure you're muted, feel free to turn on your video. Questions we are going to save until the end. If you have anything that's immediate, you can always pop it into the chat as well. But Itai from Cloud Permit is going to walk through how to submit a building permit through our new system, and I'll also show you how to navigate the new section of our website. We'll just wait maybe one more minute for a couple of latecomers.
I know, whatever.
See.
Itai, if you want to start, you can go ahead and introduce yourself from Cloud Permit.
Sure, thanks, Nikki. Yeah, so my name is Itai, and I am a customer success manager with Cloud Permit. So over the past few months, I've been working with Nikki and Chris just to launch our implementation project for our e-permitting solution. So what you're going to see today is actually how to use our system, and we're going to talk about what it means for actually submitting an application in the village of Pemberton. Before I get into my presentation, Nikki, I think you had something you wanted to mention, right?
Yeah, we could show the website for Pemberton after, since you're already in your presentation mode, but essentially our building services page on pemberton.ca is pretty much the same as you would have navigated it before, except for now the application link goes to Cloud Permit. We still do have paper applications accepted, so I can accept those if you really feel that you're still a paper person, but moving forward, we are going to try and fully digitize the system, and it will just be a lot easier for you to access your own records and, as you'll see, request inspections through the digital system.
Perfect. Okay, I guess I can get started. Let me just go here to the next slide. So just a brief agenda of what we'll cover. Just going to do just a brief introduction about Cloud Permit, kind of where we're live in a sense, where you can actually submit an application using Cloud Permit. Then we'll talk a little bit just about the Pemberton and Cloud Permit partnership. But really the main part of the meeting or presentation is going to be focused on how to use our system. So the first thing we'll cover is actually how to create an account and submit an application. Then we'll talk about how you can actually pay for your building permit. We'll talk about the fees and payments. Then we'll move into notifications and communication. So within Cloud Permit, there's actually automatic notifications that go out to you as the builders, to you as the applicants, if you're property owners as well. We'll talk about some of the features built into the system, kind of like, you know, when you ship a package in using FedEx, you get those automatic reminders. Then we'll actually talk about how to upload a new version of an attachment. So say Nikki or Chris or anyone else at the village does a review of your application and they request some changes on a specific drawing or plan. We'll talk about how you can actually upload that new version to them. After that, obviously, once the review happens on your application, eventually a permit is issued. So within Cloud Permit, that permit is actually a digital permit. It's a PDF permit. So we'll talk about how you can access that permit, how you can download it, and I'll just show you where it's located once it's actually issued. Then, of course, we move on to our inspections. And as Nikki mentioned, you can actually use your Cloud Permit account to request inspections. So, you know, there's kind of no need to call the village to request your inspection, although you can still do that. I'll show you how you can actually request an inspection using your Cloud Permit account. Of course, once an inspection is completed, there's an inspection report that goes out. So within Cloud Permit, you're receiving a notification via email of your report. So we'll talk about how you can access that report and kind of, what it looks like. I'll even show you a screenshot. And then we'll close off with showing you our support portal. So we actually have a library of articles and videos to show you how to use our system, and also talk about our product updates, which happen basically every 3 to 5 weeks. And then obviously we'll leave some time for questions and answers at the very end. Okay, so just a brief introduction about Cloud Permit. So we are what's known as a software as a service company, and our mission really is to revolutionize the permitting process, and more specifically, really the e-permitting process. So we were founded back in 2011. We actually entered the Canadian market in 2019. And we actually started in Europe, in Finland, out of a RFP from the Ministry of Environment. But ever since 2019, we've worked with municipalities across North America, really to digitalize the entire permit process. So what you're looking at on the right side, that's just a map of where you can actually apply for a permit using Cloud Permit digitally. So if you have a Cloud Permit account, and let's say you actually submit applications both in Vancouver and even in Toronto, in Ontario, actually, you can use that one Cloud Permit account to apply for permits and those municipalities that work with Cloud Permit. So you're just seeing kind of those green dots represent the municipalities that currently accept permits digitally using Cloud Permit. Okay, so the Pemberton and Cloud Permit partnership. Of course, Pemberton chose Cloud Permit to bring e-permitting to the community. And over the past few months, I've worked with Nikki and Chris really to configure the system based on requirements that they've set out, and make sure that the system works according to the way they'd like it to. And so actually back in July, that's when we officially kind of launched the system, meaning they're using our production environment, our real life product to process applications. And what that really means is applications can be submitted online on any device, anywhere, anytime. So it doesn't matter if you're on a computer at your office, or if you're at a computer at your home, you can actually submit an application from any computer. Okay, so now we'll talk about how to create an account and submit an application. And really the first step in the entire process for a new user is to actually create an account. It's really similar to, if you've set up a Netflix account or an Amazon account, we basically just require an email and for you to confirm that you have access to that email address, and then you're off on your way. So what I'm going to show is a quick video here, which is going to summarize better than I can do it on how to create that account, and then also how to submit your first application. So let me actually just play this video for us. And let me just do this.
Hello, and welcome to another Cloud Permit tutorial. Today, I'll be walking you through the application submission process. Start by opening the web browser of your choice and go to ca.cloudpermit.com. Please note, Firefox, Chrome, and Safari work best. First-time users need to register an account by clicking Register on the right side of the screen. Input your email address, agree to the terms of service, and click Continue. Once you do, please check your email for a verification and click the confirmation link within the email. This will instruct you to finish creating your account by inputting some personal details and creating a password. Please note, you'll have to use a medium to strong password. Once you successfully set up your account, you'll be presented with a 5-step guide on how to submit your first application. Once you're ready, click Create Your First Application. You now need to create a new project for your application. You can name your project whatever you'd like. Think of the project as a folder where you'll have one or more applications within. Click Next to proceed to the next step. Next, you'll need to identify the property. To begin, select the applicable province or state and municipality. To identify the applicable property, you can type in the municipal address or roll number of the property in the search bar. Once you begin typing, you'll be presented with applicable results. Alternately, you can manually navigate on the map to the property and click on the parcel once. Regardless of whichever method you choose, Once you identify the property, various details will populate. Once you've successfully identified the property, click Next. To proceed, select the project type if applicable. For example, if you're applying for a new single-family dwelling build, select residential as the project type. Next, select the applicable category, work type, and work target for your application. If you're unsure of which category you should select, you can refer to a good-to-know description below the category selections. When you're finished, click Next. At this point, you have an opportunity to verify your selections on the summary view. If you need to make changes to your selections, you can click the Back button. If not, click the Finish and Create button. You've created a draft application, and it's time to put it together before submitting. Refer to the written instructions below the Select Action button to find out what needs to be completed. Begin identifying the parties to the application by clicking the Open button to reveal all parties. If you need to identify another person, you can do so by sending them an invite via email and clicking Add or Invite Party. Input their email address, select which roles they're acting as, give them any additional permissions, and input a personal message if you'd like. And when you're done, click the Add button. If you're acting as all required roles, click the pencil button at the top right of your name and add all and any applicable roles you're acting as. Once you've successfully identified all required party roles, you'll be presented with a green check mark under the Required Tasks section of the workspace. Next, fill out all the required forms. Scroll down to the Application Data section to find out which forms you need to complete. To complete the forms, click on the name of the form and begin filling it out. A few helpful tips. There is a metric to imperial toggle at the top right of each form that you can use at any time. Your work is automatically saved. There is no save button. There are red asterisk marks next to required fields you must complete. Once you finish filling out the form, return back to the application by clicking the Return to Application button at the top left. Now it's time to upload the required attachments. Scroll down to the Attachments section of the workspace. The required attachments will be listed under the Required Attachments section. To upload attachments, you can drag or drop files from your computer onto the gray Dropbox, or select the Click Here button and identify the attachments on your computer. Regardless of whichever method you pick, identify the attachment by clicking the Select button under the Type section of the attachment. Select all the attachment types that your file represents. You can also enter a drawing number and description for the attachment. Click on Done when you're finished uploading the attachment. Once you upload all the required attachments, you'll see a green vertical banner on the left side of each attachment name. Once you've identified all of the required party roles, filled out the required forms, and uploaded the required attachments, you can sign off on the application. To do so, click on the Sign Off Application button, review the information, fill out any applicable questions, and click the Sign Off button. Depending on the local government you're applying in, you may be presented with an upfront bill that must be paid prior to submission. Otherwise, you'll be able to submit the application immediately. Finally, you can submit the application by clicking the Submit Application button located at the bottom of the screen. Congratulations! You've successfully submitted your application and should receive a confirmation email. You'll also be receiving email updates with important information. For more helpful resources, please click the Support button once you've logged into Cloud Permit, or visit support.cloudpermit.com/support/home.
Okay, so pause there again.
Hello.
So that video summarizes obviously how to create an account and submit the application. And at the end there, the presenter mentioned that depending on the local municipality you're applying in, you may be presented with an upfront bill. And in Pemberton, that is the case. Nikki, do we want to speak at all about the payment and when that should be made and kind of what happens at that point?
Yeah, for sure. So at this point in time, most of you, when you submit an application, you drop off your drawings, your sealed schedules, and pay for the permit. That's still going to be the case in Pemberton as of right now. We are working on getting a digital payment system set up, but at this time, you would be charged with a ridiculous amount of fees for the cost of building permits. So we're trying to avoid that. So we'll still need to have physical plans and wet sealed schedules and payment take place in our office, but hopefully in the future we can do everything digitally. If you have Notarius, which is like a e-signature platform that engineers are using, especially since COVID, we do accept those seals to be uploaded digitally, but it has to be done with a verification software. It can't just be like, here's my Schedule B geo and they've signed it and I've scanned it. Like we need the wet seal version of that if they're not doing a digital seal. So you can always talk to your engineers if you're working with them to see if they have that software going. A lot of them in the area are starting to use it, so it's pretty beneficial. But other than that, I'll go back to Itai to continue on.
Sure. Okay, and then right before I move on to the next slide, the final piece to submitting your application is that verification email that you'll get. You will get a email letting you know you've successfully submitted your application. So that's kind of like your, verification to know that you've submitted your application. So look out for those emails once you click the submit application button. Okay, so that brings us to notifications and communication. So really on the left side, you're looking at one of those automatic emails that you'll be receiving. And if you don't see them in your email box, just look in your junk folder. Sometimes our emails get flagged on the servers. So if you don't receive them, just take a look in your junk folders and whitelist them, please. Then you'll be receiving them, but most of you should be receiving them right from the get-go. So those automatic emails go out every time there's a status change on your application. So the first one you're going to get is when you submit your application. Then once the application is in review, once Nikki or Chris or anyone else at the village reviews your application, you'll be receiving another automatic email notification of that as well. And then as your application moves through the process, you'll be receiving those notifications. So that's kind of the automatic feature. Then we also have an instant messaging feature where you can actually send a message directly to Nikki or Chris or anyone else at the village, which kind of acts as a instant messaging feature. So let's just show you another quick 3-minute video on how to send a message. But just know that every one of your applications does get devoted its own thread, which becomes really useful because if you have 10 applications, you can actually channel your communication just for one application. So very quickly, let me just show you this.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Cloud Permit tutorial. Everyone knows the benefits of clear communication. That's why on Cloud Permit, applicants, builders, architects, and other parties to applications can communicate directly with local governments via a built-in message feature. This video illustrates how this message feature can be utilized. There are 3 methods to access the message feature on Cloud Permit. Method number 1, via the message icon. Start by logging into your Cloud Permit account. Scroll down to the Workspaces section of your dashboard. Click the messages icon on the workspace. You should now be presented with the workspace messages that relate only to this workspace. You can now send public and direct messages. To send the message, simply begin typing your desired message in the text box at the bottom of the workspace messages. Then, click the purple right-facing arrow or type Command and Enter on your keyboard to send the message. Method number 2, via the workspace message thread. Start by logging into your Cloud Permit account. Scroll down to the Workspaces section of your dashboard and open the workspace that you'd like to communicate about. Once you've opened the workspace, click the Show Messages button located under the civic address of the workspace. This will open the messaging feature for this workspace. You should now be presented with the workspace messages that relate only to this workspace. You can now send public and direct messages. To send the message, simply begin typing your desired message in the text box at the bottom of the workspace messages. Then, click the purple right-facing arrow or type Command and Enter on your keyboard to send the message. Method number 3, via the message threads for all workspaces. Start by logging into your Cloud Permit account. Once you've logged in, click on the Messages button located at the top right of the screen. This will navigate you to the message threads for all workspaces you're involved with. To send a message that pertains to a specific workspace, you'll need to find the conversation from the thread on the list on the left side of the screen. Once you've located the thread, click on it. This will open the conversation and allow you to send the message that relates to this workspace. To send a message, simply begin typing your desired message in the text box and click the purple right-facing arrow or type Command and Enter on your keyboard to send the message. Congratulations, you now know how to take advantage.
Okay, so between the automatic notifications that go out and the message feature, I think there's lots of benefits to actually submitting your application through Cloud Permit. You should be able to know the status and communicate with Nikki, Chris, and the rest of the team quite easily. So just moving on to the next slide here. This one more time. So yeah, fees and payments, we kind of touched on this before, but this is what a bill looks like on Cloud Permit. So part of our system allows for bills to be created, receipts to be generated as well once those bills are paid, and really some instructions that go out as well for how to make the payment. So for now, as Nikki said, these are the instructions on the top here, right below fees and payments. Those are the payment instructions for the village as of right now. So this is what a bill will look like once you actually open up your application on our system. If you're also using Cloud Permit, if you did create an account and submitted your application, once a bill is confirmed, once Nikki or Chris confirms a bill, meaning it's ready to be paid, you'll be receiving a notification via email that your bill is ready to be paid. So you should be kind of aware of when you need to make the payment, but also how to make the payment, and as well as the receipts. The receipts will always be on your Cloud Permit account below the bill that you paid. So it's really good for tracking as well. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So your application's submitted, you've made the payment, you've submitted the plans and the drawings, the review has started, and let's just imagine that Chris or Nikki or someone else actually requests a change on one of your drawings. So what you're looking at here is a screenshot of the attachment section of Cloud Permit. And you can see here that there's actually a changes needed kind of black box there to the left side of my electrical drawing, my landscape plan, and my site plan. And I can see there right here where my cursor is that version 1 actually needs changes because this needs to be updated. That was the note that was left for me. I'd also receive a notification via email that I need to make an update, but also on my Cloud Permit account, when I open it up on my dashboard, I'll see a task letting me know that this drawing needs to be updated. So let me actually open up this workspace so that we can actually look at it. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a carbon copy of the Cloud Permit environment. It's actually our training environment, so it operates the same exact way as our real life environment. Logging in here as an applicant to make changes to my drawing. So here's my application here in front of me, right? Kind of what you saw in the video. And just gonna close my fees and payment section. And we are gonna go down to our attachment section. So this is where I would have uploaded my drawings and plans. And as we can see here, I have my electrical drawing and landscape plan that requires that change. All I really need to do to upload the new version is just expand this section as I did here. So just open this up here and click a big purple upload new version button, and just navigate on my computer to my new version. So let me just pick a drawing here, and we'll say this is a site plan. And let's imagine, you are working with an architect and you're the builder or you're the applicant or even the property owner. Really anyone that's part of this application can do this. So it's not that it has to be done by a specific person. It can be done by anyone involved in the application. So part of that collaborative piece allows for anyone on the application to do this. It doesn't have to be one person or the other. So what I've done, I've now uploaded version 2 here, which is my new version. Hopefully that addresses the changes requested. And then finally, what I'm gonna do, just to let the Pemberton team know, is just send a quick message and say, hi, I've uploaded my new drawing. This will alert them that my new drawing has been uploaded, and another review of that updated drawing can be started. So that's how you actually upload a new version of a drawing. Let's go back to the presentation here. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, so that process can go, of course, back and forth a few times depending on how many changes are being requested. Eventually, of course, the drawings will be approved, and then there will be another bill that needs to be paid, right? A permit bill that needs to be paid. So again, similar process, you'll receive a notification, you'll make the payment, and then you kind of move on to the next stage. And then that next stage is for the permit to be issued. So on the left side, you're looking here at an automatic email from Cloud Permit, just letting you know that the permit's been issued. And actually there's a big blue button there that says open application. This will actually re-navigate you to the permit, and you'll be able to download the permit quite easily. And that's what you're looking at here on the right side. This is just showing you a screenshot of a permit section on a workspace for you to actually be able to download it in PDF. So it's a PDF permit that you can download from anywhere on any device, right? So let's just open it up again just to take a quick look. So this is our application here, and I can see there's a permit number. It's actually a hyperlink for the permit. So if I click that, I'm going to be re-navigated right down to the permit itself. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Right here. So this is our permit. I can download it. It's a PDF, and I'm off on my way. Chris, Nikki, is there something you want to say about actually posting the permit on site?
Yeah, when you pick up your permit and come to pay for it, as Itai can scroll down a little bit to the QR code, you'll see that your permit has a QR code on it. This is the page that we will be laminating and putting, requiring you to put on your building site. He's going to get into this, but it's really handy for everyone because if you can't remember what inspection you've had, you can simply scan your QR code to just see what inspections your site has gone through, and Chris can do the same. So if he's showing up for an inspection and can't remember what he's showing up for, he would just be able to scan the QR code. And then it's also like information to your other contractors that might be on site as well. So this would be the page that we laminate and make sure you display on site, just like our green permit cards that you have right now.
Yeah, that's right. So the package is actually several pages. So the first page that you're looking at is really just a cover page. But as Nikki said, the second page, this is your permit page. And then the rest of the pages kind of have some additional information for you. So right after the permit page, you're looking at a list of inspections that your permit needs to call for. right? So you don't need to go searching for them anymore. This list is going to be specific for your application. You're going to see a list of inspections with descriptions for each one. And I believe we did put some instructions as well on what needs to be done with the inspections. So that's the second page. Below that, then we have some responsibility pages that we just inputted in the package itself. And then finally, just the forms that you filled out as part of your application. But it's really just, the second and third pages that are the vital ones, I guess, for you. And like I said, your permit is always on your Cloud Permit account. So even if you misplace this PDF package, you can always open up your Cloud Permit account and download that permit package.
Yeah, and just so everyone is aware, by municipal standards, we still require to have a physical version of the permit. So all of your communication with us and all of the documents you've submitted will be available as paper copies for the owner of the home or real estate agents to view, but they can also view this information digitally as well.
Okay, let me go back to the PowerPoint here. We'll go to the next slide. So obviously your permit's been issued. It's now time for your inspections. So like I said at the beginning, you can use your Cloud Permit account to call for an inspection. You simply log in, open the application, find your inspection, and request it. Nikki, are you also going to still be taking in requests over the phone?
Chris?
Maybe. I mean, I would prefer it gets a little lost in the mix. I obviously prefer all inspection requests to come in via email, and this would make it very easy. But yeah, I'm not going to say no. So
fair enough. But yeah, you can use your Cloud Permit account to request an inspection, which goes out to Chris and Nikki, so they'll see that. So just a quick 1-minute video showing you how to request the inspection using your Cloud Permit account.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Cloud Permit tutorial. This video will show how applicants, property owners, builders, and other parties to applications can request inspections using their Cloud Permit accounts at any time from anywhere on any device. Start by logging into your Cloud Permit account. Open the workspace you'd like to call an inspection for by finding it from the Workspaces section of your dashboard. Once your workspace is open, scroll down to the Inspections tile of the workspace and locate the inspection you'd like to request. Click on Request Inspection, which is located under the description for each inspection. Continue by inputting a requested date and time slot. You can also leave some notes for the inspector in the additional information text box. Finalize your request by clicking Create Inspection Request. Congratulations, you've now successfully requested the inspection. We hope this video has been helpful. Please check our support portal.
Okay, Chris, if you could refresh my memory, you do conduct inspections on which days of the week? I just forget.
right now it's every day, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
So I haven't set apart a day where it's strictly office. So
Okay, fair enough. So when you do open up your Cloud Permit account, you'll be able to select obviously from Monday through Friday. But if that does change, the Cloud Permit system will not allow you to request inspections, obviously on statutory holidays or days when Chris isn't available. So you'll only be looking at available dates, okay? Great, let's move on to the next slide here, which is talking about how to access your inspection report. So, building on that automatic notification kind of theme, when Chris completes an inspection, if you submitted your application online, one of the benefits to doing that is you'll be receiving an inspection report to your email. So you'll know when Chris has finished an inspection and the result, and then you can also open it up to see what's going on for the full report. The only unique inspection is the occupancy inspection, in the sense where if occupancy is granted, that occupancy permit will also be attached to that email. If for some reason you don't get that email, you can also open up your account and receive your occupancy permit that way. But really, one of the benefits to submitting online is you're receiving those notifications, so you're constantly up to date on what's going on with your application. Okay, closing it off with my presentation here is really our support portal, which is available 24/7, 365. And as I said at the beginning, this is really just a library of articles and videos on how to use our system, as well as some of our update information. So every time we release a new update of our system, which by the way requires no action on your end, we release a set of notes that go along with it that talk about our features and fixes. So you can also browse through those notes to kind of keep up to date with our system. So let me just open this up quickly, and we'll just take a quick look. Okay, so this is our support portal, and this is where you'll be navigated when you actually click that support button within our system. So right at the top, there's a quick search feature here where you can just type in, how to request an inspection, for example, an inspection. And we're being presented with a list of articles on how to do a certain action, right? So with pictures, step-by-step on how to use our system. Let's just go back home here. I could also scroll down here to our knowledge base, click our using Cloud Permit as an applicant and a building professional section, and go through kind of topics with articles and videos and screenshots on different components of our system. Let's just go back home here, and those release notes that we talked about, those are going to be included here. Release notes with a title based on the date of our release. So for example, we had a release on this date here, and this talks about the different features within our system, or sorry, different updates within our system. The only other thing you can do on our support portal is actually submit a ticket. If for some reason you don't find the answer to the question you're looking for, I clicked login by accident, but I meant to click submit a ticket. You can just input your email, subject, country, description, and an ID for your application, and submit a ticket, and someone will be in touch with you to resolve your issue. Okay, let's go back to the presentation here, and I believe that's all. Yeah, that's it for me.
I'm gonna share my screen really quickly so that our people can see how to access from the village side. So under departments, you would hit building services. You can see my screen, right, Itai?
Yes.
Okay. So under building services, this is the new building services page. Doesn't really look that much different. Kind of reformatted it for some helpful links and related bylaws that you might need to look at. And where Itai just showed you to submit all your applications, there's a direct link straight off of our website. And there's also one if you click apply for a permit. At this present time, unfortunately, Cloud Permit is still doing a launch for a form builder. So they don't have all the forms we require for certain things. So here are some required forms that you will still have to fill out as a PDF and upload to the Cloud Permit system. But hopefully within the next month or so, everything will be directly in there. The video that Itai showed you as well is here on how to submit a building permit application and create an account. And then the support portal that he has just gone through is on this link as well. We also have an FAQ section on the website, and our paper applications are available there, but we are going to be phasing them out. So please try to familiarize yourself with the digital version. And then all of our relevant builders bulletins, anything to do with the BC Energy Step Code, snow loads, and then our department contacts. At the moment as well, I just circulated an email to the building community to say that our Energy Step Code funding was expiring. I did get another extension, so we will have a little bit more funding available if you're in the middle of a build right now and looking to do a blower door test. We're gonna announce that new funding that's available until March 2022. So we'll follow up on that, but I guess I will open the floor to questions because I'm sure there might be some. If you have a question, you can raise your hand, put it in the chat, unmute yourself, request to be unmuted. No questions?
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Brian, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, I don't really have immediate questions. I'm definitely looking forward to this system and helping streamline where all the information is. So thanks for putting this together.
Awesome, yeah, we're excited to launch it as well, and hopefully it does make everything easier on your end as a builder for the whole community. Just having everything already as a PDF, it's gonna expedite the process for all of us is our intention with this one. But yeah, this session is also recorded. I will post it I know there's a lot of people that weren't able to make it, but if there's no other questions, then we can conclude the session. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so thanks Itai for joining, and thank you everyone else for showing up, and I'll be able to send the recording around once it's downloaded.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.